Okay, so what were your thoughts when you both found out you were pregnant?
Are we gonna be able to bleep ourselves out? You can do whatever you want to do, I'm trying to keep it there. My first thought was, oh shit. Because I really did not think that I was pregnant. Like I had the thought, and I'm just like, oh, like I should take a test. Like in my head, I was taking the test to get the edge off of the questioning. Like I have never been pregnant in my life. No pregnancies, no abortions, no miscarriages. I was just like, what? How? And I feel like I had got to a point where I had kind of finally made peace with the fact that I probably wouldn't get to be a mother. And that was something that I wanted for so long. Like Mother's Days and everything was kind of like intense a little bit. Like I'm living life. It's okay. We're gonna be on somebody. We're gonna be on our boat, on our yacht.
Which will be in
Traveling around
Panama.
doing our thing. Like, and then it's like the moment that I make peace, and I'm just like, I'm good. I'm happy. Like what? So I was confused. Like, wait, this is real?
That just shows how much more miraculous this is because you've been open with me about your experiences through this journey, and it's like you and Bravo were meant to meet because
We
essentially
in
it's
it
like
big.
we're but for real, like essentially you and Bravo were meant to meant to meet because he has inspired you. Like you are already fit and healthy, but he has inspired you to like kick your game up. To me, that's what makes this so much more miraculous because you met somebody who challenged you to amp up your game, and you amped up your game, and you saw what healing can do not only for your soul and your spirit, but inside of you physically. And you have a miracle child.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and give him his props. I know he's gonna give his stuff props anyway.
Not you.
But I'm gonna go ahead and give him his props. I consider myself a very level-headed woman, work hard, and I have always implemented those things to make sure that the mental and the spiritual part and the physical part is good. So to meet a man and have somebody in your life that makes you better, I'm not gonna say it's hard to make me better. I'm not gonna say, I was just the ish or nothing like that. But if I do say so myself, like I was pretty consistent and intentional with the work that I was doing. So it definitely is a blessing to have somebody that can take me to the next level and make me a better woman, physically, mentally, spiritually, and um, I can honestly say that I am better since we got in a relationship. And he stuck with me forever now. But if there was a chance, like he'll always be seen as a positive person in my life because everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that. And everybody's not blessed to have that, especially on the level that I do. So
Get it? Get
Damn.
it?
Hey,
Get
so I'm gonna tell you a story, but not today. So there's a really intense story that I already made a video for that came true.
Okay.
So I made I was doing the fasting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I dedicated my 7-day fast to healing her, and it actually happened. But we're gonna dive into that on another day. That's how dope it is. Yeah,
Okay.
but we didn't know it was gonna be for pregnant. But hey, yeah, fall back. But back to the question. When the first thought I had when we found out when they said was like saw that she was pregnant, first thought came to my head. My new life now starts. So whatever thoughts I had prior, whatever thoughts and visions I had of my life prior before she said it's positive, all of that went away instantly. I said my new life starts right now. I'm a dad. I'm not gonna be a father. I am a dad now because life has been created and he's growing. And I started looking at my life through the lens of a dad. So everything since that moment she said she's pregnant has been me basically winging it
to say how to be the best dad I can. And the only blueprint I have to start with is my jam doctrine, because I'm like, okay, what actions do I need to take? Do I believe I can be a good father? How can I be consistent to be a better father for my child as well as for her, to help her become a better mother? And what disciplines do I need to do? Like all these questions came to me of how to be a better dad, a better person, right? And so I look at that. So she's my accountability for that. I'm like, okay, how do I need to behave as a dad? Okay, I'm checking my behavior with that. I gotta be more patient. Lord knows I gotta be more patient, because Lord, God has been giving me patience the past couple months. And also committing to the entirety of the process of this pregnancy. And once he's born, I'm like, okay, committing to like, what does that look like? And if I see myself as a great dad and we growing this amazing family, this is what I wanted, what I desire. So this is the pathway I must take. And so that's what came to me when I found out.
I love that.
It sound better than mine. So I was, oh shit.
Well, see, that's fine, because you with the emotions, and that's okay. Like
Right,
that's
right.
okay. Like you're gonna be the emotions that I'm supposed to be the one to be strong and hold firm when shit
Yeah,
is happening. So
yeah.
when you going crazy, I'm sitting there thinking logically, how do we make this work? How do we execute, make this happen to make sure you're good and calm? So I
Right.
know what I must do to make sure you're good. So you can be crazy as bad shit all you want, as long as if you see me acting crazy, that's when you should be nervous.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right, as long as I'm
Right.
strong and firm, we good. Like, as long as I'm
Right.
holding it together, we have no issue. So, she didn't be hysterical all day. I don't expect her to be understanding of the shit that's happening. Like, hey, you're a woman, deal with those emotions. Just don't stress me out too much.
I like that approach, Bravo. I like that approach. That's good. I mean, that's really good. That's really good. Kiki, for the most part, do you feel that Bravo has, made you feel comfortable in this space, being taking care of you as his new love mother to his child? Like, has he been supportive?
He been stressing me out, but no. Yeah, I think that he has. I think that he has to the best of his ability. And I've been trying to be understanding too, in the fact that this is both of our first time doing this. Even though everything is intensified, and I just wish for a second I could just let him feel it, so he could be like, oh, okay. You know? Okay, so have you ever heard a woman be like, they just go off, go crazy, like slap somebody or do something crazy, and they be like, oh, I'm on my period. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yes, hormones are a thing. It's all of
Right.
that, but it doesn't give you an excuse to be disrespectful.
That
And so
part.
I've been very intentional about that, and just trying to, like, not be a burden or anything like that, and still be aware of all of the principles that I have for myself too. Like, as far as the feminine and fit movement go, there's certain things that we talk about, emotional intelligence, and it's like, okay, the emotional intelligence has a whole nother like book of stuff when it comes to pregnancy hormones, because this is like everything feels more intense. You have like spider tinglies, and so it's like something's off. You just like everything, and then don't let your spider tingly be right. You're like, oh, see, and then you go from 1 instead of 1 to 10 is 1 to 2,572, and to go through those steps to be like, okay, what's bothering me? Is it real? What I'm saying is about, is it even real, or is it something that's going on in my head, in my emotions, my spider tinglies, and then being able to dissect the issue, separate the emotions, and be like, okay, why do I feel this? All right, is this feeling valid? And by the time I go through all of that, a lot of times I calm down. I might still be irritated a little bit, but instead of 2,572, I can bring it back down to 8, and at least make sure, that when I'm responding and doing certain things, it's not just, giving whatever. But yeah, he's definitely been helpful though, especially like first trimester, like when I was really, really sick, like I'm talking about vomiting multiple times a day. There's been a couple times that he done had to come and grab some hair, try to make me eat stuff. Because like I'm just thinking about, after you throw up so much, you need to eat, you need to drink water. But if you laying on the toilet, like I don't feel good. Somebody be like, you need to eat this. I'm like, I don't want it.
Bruh, and I know Bravo
You need
be,
to
man,
feed my boy. I'm like,
bruh, Bravo a whole different level of a coach, man.
listen, like,
He gotta be fed, so you gotta eat.
well, slap that broccoli out. Emotional intelligence, emotional intelligence.
I understand
Not right now.
that part. You know what? I love that. I love that. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for the realness. I knew that was nothing less of what you guys were gonna come with. Shout
Yeah.
out, shout out. Hey man, so what the nicknames? Can we get like we gonna have a baby jam master baby? Well, like what's up? Like Jam Junior.
You know, hey,
Man.
Lobo, like baby Lobo is gonna be the nickname, right?
Lobo, baby
So, because
Lobo.
I'm gonna get us these wolf pendants that we're gonna have because I don't have tattoos, right? So I was like, well, I want a tattoo, but I'm like, I'm not there that I'm brave enough to get it to mark my body. So I'm gonna get us these wolf pendants. Like I have this pendant here, but I was like, that's gonna be our thing. So by the time he's born, I'll have us some wolf pendant with our names on them, like all three of our names on.
That's cute. I love
Baby
that.
Lobo, what we going with. So,
Baby
Baby
Lobo.
his first
Lobo.
words will be jam.
Baby Lobo. Oh, great. We got
Yeah.
Baby Lobo. Okay, let me go ahead and ask you this.
Hoping to get in the studio.
Oh man, what? I already got ideas. Okay. How has your mental been throughout the first trimester?
That it has definitely been different, up and down. I will say that the being sick part, I had to kind of keep myself from a downward spiral because my physical and just not feeling well, I noticed just kind of pushed me on a spiral. Because it's like you're sick all the time, you're uncomfortable all the time, smells bother you, and then you kind of feel like you're annoying other people, And like me, like I feel like I'm in general like happy, energetic, like whatever person, and to just not just to not feel it. Like I knew I didn't feel well when I like lay here on the couch. I didn't turn on no TV. I wasn't touching the phone. It was just like silence and like four walls. And it can kind of like I see how people can drown in there. Like I as a person who meditates twice a day, on a bad day we do once, and has all of these mental practices in order. The way the first trimester went, it was kind of intense. And then you have all of these thoughts, the what ifs about everything, about the situation, like, what if something happens to the baby? When do I get to go back to the doctor? I can't feel anything. I just feel sick. Is something wrong? And you hear people, they're like, well, I never had symptoms or this. And then it's just like, man, I'm not married. Am I going to end up being a single mother? Like, did I set myself up? Like, just all of these questions, like, am I going to miss out on this? Am I going to be able to do that? Just all of these things that like flood through your head in general, but become more intense and more sitting with your own thoughts when you're in pain or when you don't feel good. And it's like, I don't feel good again.
Kiki, I'm so sorry you going through that. That do not sound fun at all.
Trust me.
But they say childbirth is beautiful, right? I remember the day when you said, what did you say? You were mad at the person who called morning sickness, because it's more like all day sickness.
It's literally like whoever came up with the name morning sickness, like they deserve to get their ass beat. And we can leave that word in there because honestly, they deserve to get their ass beat. Like why would you
Misleading
call it
folk.
that? It's
Misleading
literally
folk.
all day, all night. Feel it when you walk, feel it when you talk. You get sicker when you don't eat, but you can't eat because you get sick. It's just like
It's a lot she's sacrificing right now, going through that. So how have you been through
I would
it?
say my mental's been good because I've been really honing in on my principles that I live by for my business and my physical, my mental. I've had to really lock in on that. What I've learned, like she was talking about, like the fears that she had, right? And in my mind, I'm like, fear is only false evidence appearing real. So when I hear her talk about these fears, and if we get into an argument or anything, I had to learn that what she's saying, don't pay attention to it, right? Don't feed the fire of what she's saying, because I know where I am mentally, what I've accepted, but maybe she's still attached to her life before finding out that we're pregnant. And so I had to give her a lot more patience and leeway, because when I accepted that, I forgot everything in the past, right? But there were like, when I would hear her say certain things, I was like, okay, be patient, don't feed the fire, just listen. And even sometimes, you know, my tongue sometimes let loose. You know, I had to
Hallelujah.
understand.
Bravo. I need to fight.
I had it under
Do
control.
I
It
need
was
to
under
fight?
control. I had it under control, but it was times I really I had to learn to protect myself and to protect our relationship, because I have a very slick way with words to hurt people, and I know that about myself. And so I didn't want that part of me to come back up and attack her. And so I learned to put myself in a place where I was alone in my mind. And so that's how I was able to keep my mental locked in throughout this process, and not to fall into the trap of thinking negative, like, oh man, this shit not gonna work, to screw this shit, you know, not to run away at the first sign of a disagreement, right? And so for my mental, it's allowed me to become even sharper with my principles, because I have to practice them daily, right? I have to make sure I'm taking the right action. I have to focus on my belief in myself to be a father, a great father, a great future hubby, you know? So it's like, I have to make sure I'm doing all the right things to keep myself in check, because it's so easily to allow my mental to slip if I'm not aware of what's happening, right? Because words carry a lot of power, and it can affect us in so many different ways. And so if she's in her feelings or emotions and she's feeling some type of way, and she may just say something that triggers me, I have to be aware of that moment and give her grace. Right. So yeah.
That's all. That's all she asking for. And thank you for giving it to her. Thank you for giving it to her, and thank you for working on it.
thank you, Cal.
Oh man, I love y'all. I love y'all. All right, so the last one is, what's been the biggest surprise to you both during this experience?
You go first on that one.
This, so I'm sitting on the outside looking in. My biggest surprise is how women, y'all, react to a woman saying she's pregnant. So Kiki, like, she has told me how she feels like she don't feel like she really has friends, but she, like, so many people love her, right?
She's so cap, bruh. She's so cap.
So I'm sitting back and I see how you reacted when you walked in, so it's a sign, it's a boy. And like you just like trying to hold back tears. As a man, I've never been on the side of watching someone tell someone that they're pregnant, and I'm the dude that of the lady who's pregnant, and see how women react to her. So from where I'm standing, I'm like, oh, this is some type of emotional thing between women, that when they hear someone is pregnant, like they become like super emotional. And
Oh
even
Lord, what's up with that? What?
hey, this is how y'all were. Even in Ebony Fit Weekend at the conference, I made a gesture at biting her stomach, and it must be something that women are because Fit BBL and
Janae?
Janae was quick to say, BBL was like, "Bitch, you pregnant?" And I was like, "Hey, and I was like, and then he was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Hey, calm it down, calm it down." I saw the excitement want to burst through her head. So I wanted to, hey, pipe it
But
down.
Robin, man, you was playing around. Don't even Kiki, wasn't you up there playing around?
But see, I'm not thinking that y'all women gonna recognize this, but
What?
they're mothers.
Like you was playing too much. You was dropping too many
Mhm.
hints.
Mhm.
And so yeah, women are naturally gonna be like, "What you got?" Because we be waiting on that.
I know, I see that. So for me, it's just such a surprise. Whenever I heard someone say, "Oh, we pregnant," the first thought always came to mind, damn, better than me. Always. I'm like, ooh, I hope he ready. And so to be on the other end of like, wow, okay, I'm the guy now that I normally say, like, damn, hope he ready. And it's me. So from my point of view, those thoughts never came. So the biggest surprise for me has been like, wow, women really do love when they hear other women are pregnant. And going back and forth with society now, people always saying, well, I don't want kids, like women don't need kids, but I see how women react when they find out someone's pregnant. Like they become these balls of emotional tears. And so this experience has given me the opportunity to see, look at women differently. I see how women react to her. I'm like, man, women really love her. The way women have responded to her, just telling her like they're so happy for her and they've been looking for this, they know how much she wanted this. And in my head, I'm just thinking, I know she wanted, but damn, the way I keep hearing, like, how bad did you want this? You know, I tell her that she manifested this baby coming now because she been putting it out there, you know, and I know my part, I did my part, but I've been so surprised, whatever. I've been greatly surprised at how women react to the news of another woman being pregnant and how much, like, I don't care if they had like slight tension between them. It's like a common ground of love between women. They like may not like her, but damn, girl, I'm so you know? And so I appreciate that experience because I never thought that was there. When guys find out each other, like they about to have a baby, bro, I'm so happy for you, bro. Congratulations. Like, love, all right, cool. We back on to what we was talking about already, you know?
Right.
And even now, like I had a real good conversation with Cliff.
Shout out to Cliff the Glyph. I mean,
Damn,
Cliff the
yeah, she
Glyph.
called that the Glyph, damn.
It was
Cliff
a
glitch. So
Sorry, Cliff.
like us having a conversation was so different because I'm like, man, I'm having a conversation I thought I would never have, and knowing his situation that like, hey, this is something he wants as well. So us having a conversation reminded me this is how women be. But I was like, wow, this shit is different. It's like I'm learning like different things about myself and the observation of other people through this experience that I thought I would never have. So that's been the biggest surprise to me, and it's kind of cool.
And can I ask you this too? Because I do know this is what comes with the territory of having a woman that other women respect. How does that make you look at Kiki?
Mm, I'm the man. Oh, I walk around like this. Mm, girl. All day. All day. But you know, because this is why men, we judge each other off of our resources, our women, and our resource could be tied to occupation as well. You know, because it's stats, right? You are greatly judged by the woman you have on your side. And this is why men tend to not cuff girls who go live. You know, when I say go live, I mean they be wild.
OF?
I didn't know that.
So yeah, go livers. We used to call them go livers in college. So this is why it's hard for men to cuff it. Like they got some really good women that dudes want to cuff, and they be like, man, this chick, she good, she loyal, she bad, but then we discover how she was prior and how she was in them streets. It, in a sense, taints her image. And so when you're walking around with a woman that, you know, being real, that a bunch of your boys and had, a bunch of dudes in the neighborhood and had, and if she had a past and nobody know about it, but she on social media nowadays, everybody can see what you've been doing. When you popping up with a new dude every month, it paints the picture like, yo, she's just a good time. She's not someone I'm going to build with. She's just somebody I'm going to have fun with. She's not my lady. It's just my turn. And that's how dudes categorize women. And so having her, I could pull up to events and it's like, you know, dudes like been wanting her. So they like, bravo, bro, you did it. Dudes, we give each other props for that, right? Because like they have a high respect, like, yo, bro, you got her, you got a solid chick, because they understand the quality and value that she has. And so it gives them more respect for me, as well as knowing the type of person that I am.
And I've always known Kiki to represent herself like top tier, like nothing less. She's been a girl's girl. And I'm just happy to see my girl. I'm happy to see my girl happy, but I'm happy to see the desires of her heart manifested like in real life.
Oh, my God.
But yes, it's what has been the biggest surprise to you during this experience?
So the biggest surprise for me is very similar to his. So being a woman and my experience of sharing the news was not the experience that I have experienced with other women. And not saying that it was negative or anything, it was just like, oh, okay. Or like, all right, well, you know, let us know if you need help with the baby shower. And I'm not sure if that's because there was already kids there. But in general, I just felt like it was a lot of genuine energy. And I'm very sensitive to energy. And so I can tell when it's that like fake happy, like, oh, you know, but even from areas that I didn't expect it from, it was like genuine excitement, and happiness and joy, you know, like going back to the US, I was a little bit nervous, but it felt good. And it felt good to be surrounded by love. And I know I have friends now. I love you, Co. I don't know. And it would just feel good to just have a crew and be the genuine excitement, genuine joy. And I know from at least our circle, you know, I shared some things with you guys some years back. So to see, it was refreshing for y'all to remind me that this is me starting the process of getting the things that I was praying for. And I think that that's so important too, because, you know, we'll be in a place and we'll be praying for something or asking something or wanting something or wishing something. And time goes on, or we go through this process of healing or just life in general, and we forget. And there's so many people that are like, I told you, or like, it happened, you know what I mean? Because it was a point where I was just like, is something wrong? Like I went to the doctor and everything, like what the heck is going on? Like I don't understand, like without going too deep, you know, it felt good to be around people who reminded me that I'm loved, reminded me that I'm blessed. So we've been doing this thing, shout out to my baby again. We broke down our beliefs, right? We talked about specifically for our relationship, how there are certain individual beliefs that we have about certain things that affect our interaction with each other in life. And so those beliefs that we have, they come out in different ways, whether it be, you know, argument or petty comment. And so what he made me do is he made me write down the opposite of those beliefs that I had. So I had to sit there and identify certain things. And then I had to write the opposite, and then started reading them and trying to shift my thinking to not think the negative part, but to shift my beliefs to the things that I actually desire. And so going in that process and doing that before visiting the US and then going to the US and sharing the news, you guys reaffirmed those positive beliefs that I have, that I can have my heart's desire, that I can have it all, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you get in a place where you're just like, man, no matter how good I am or how much I try or how much I give, how much I love, how much I pour, I'm still gonna be missing something or something is gonna be off. And just y'all reminded me like, bro, no, this is exactly what you prayed for. Like, I remember when we talked, you know, I remember we had this conversation. I'd be like, oh yeah, I think I told you that. I'm like, girl, you was talking too much, you know? But just having those conversations and feeling the love, it was definitely refreshing, and I didn't expect it. Because like I said, the experiences that I've had with people that get pregnant is like, oh, okay. Or either it's like, with who, which one, you know, or you know, that type of deal. So I know some of it was because people knew my story. And then I know some of it is because some people on the outside, they didn't know the details, but they were able to kind of see some things, to see that I had people that didn't even know me that loved me, was refreshing too. So yeah, that was the biggest surprise for me.
You know what's funny? I thought about, you just reminded me about those beliefs that we did. We're gonna talk about that another time, but that shit is real. I had some beliefs about women that kept showing up, and when I rewrote it, the opposite of that belief, all that shit went away. Like those beliefs, because I do believe that we are energetic beings creating our reality through
Yeah.
projecting our words, feelings, and beliefs. So if you believe something, you're definitely going to see that experience manifested in your reality, you know? So yeah, that shit's real.
Thank y'all so much for sharing. I really do appreciate y'all's love story, y'all's journey, y'all sharing this really precious moment. I love you. I love y'all. And I can't wait to take my nephew on a trip. Let me get him for about like a week or two. We're gonna have him working with Emmanuel, get his basketball skills together.
Yes, come on, come on.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
gonna teach
Cole,
him how
another
to
thing.
yeah, I'm gonna teach him how to work Canva. This is how we're gonna build your brand.
Right.
Yes.
The Kimbo Wolf.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Lobo,
exactly.
Kimbo
So
Wolf.
yeah. It was wild. This idea, no, I gotta give a shout out to Pierre. Pierre, I got this idea that what we were doing from Pierre. Because Pierre had this idea to create the Durant love story. He talked about how like his family, he basically took you on a journey of him with his family.
Yeah.
Every day. And I'm a part of it, a lot of it, especially with the yard work, the stuff in the house. Like I'm really a part of that Durant love story. So I was like, damn, I was rooting for it so much. And so now I'm like, well, I need a blueprint because honestly, there a lot of people that give me information, they from single fathers too. You know, they're not fathers who still with the mom. So I have a handful of guys who still with the mother of their children. So I was thinking, damn, this is going to look a lot different dealing with baby mama drama.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Only drama I'm gonna be dealing with is her drama, and she's my baby mama. So it's like,
I am not a baby mama.
She gonna be your wife. He gonna be your wife.
And I'm gonna be just like this.
so that's the only drama I'm gonna have to deal with. And so I was thinking about that, and so I have to give Pierre his props. I have to give Pierre, like, give thanks to Pierre for wanting to do this. And we trying to build this thing up. So therefore, if anybody had questions that they wanted to know from us or had advice that they could give to help us along this journey, even though we know it's going to be different per couple, you know, like it's open. They could drop something about it or whatnot.
Shout out to P.
Shout out to Shirley.
Yeah.
Well, Kiki and Bravo, we appreciate you guys sharing your journey with us. You guys make sure you guys stay tuned because we're not done. We asking them continuous questions on this journey because we ain't letting up. Kiki and Bravo, jam.